Next question concerns homeland security, and it'll be started by Mr. Saunders. Do you see a nuclear-armed Iran as a threat that must be mitigated if diplomacy and sanctions do not correct the problem?
Absolutely. A nuclear Iran would be a major problem for the entire world. I'm one of those who believes that we have to rely on our good friends in Israel to keep us informed on what's happening, because they're on the ground there and they have the ability to get the intelligence that is necessary for their very survival. And I believe that at some point in time, as Iran continues to develop its nuclear program, the Israelis are going to make a decision to take that nuclear facility out. They're going to do that because they're going to have to do it for their very own survival. They know that if Iran gets a nuclear weapon, it won't be long before it reaches Jerusalem or someplace in Israel. And so we need to support our friends in the Middle East that are working with us to keep Iran from getting a nuclear device. What we need to do right away, right now, is really tighten the sanctions on Iran. Make it painful for them, make it painful for their government to continue to develop a nuclear weapon. Because as they get closer, and we're talking 18 months maybe at the most, as they get closer to this, you're going to start seeing the potential for an attack by Israel, which will destabilize the entire Middle East, but they're going to have to do it. And so whatever sanctions we can impose, we need to do that right away. Thank you.
Ditto. I think Senator Saunders hit that pretty well on the head. I would like to see us focus on the real war on terror. I believe that the terrorists are in the mountains of Afghanistan and Pakistan, and I believe they are a larger danger today than Iran's current status as in nuclear weapon productions today. Now that may change, but on October 11, 2008, that's what I believe. I think we need to support the governments of Afghanistan and Pakistan in their efforts to weed out the terrorists and terminate them. And if they don't decide they want to do it themselves, maybe we should lease those wastelands called the mountains of Afghanistan and Pakistan. Just lease them for our own personal use. Didn't we lease an island down in the Bahamas for a bombing range down there one day? And if we lease it, maybe we could, do a bombing range in that area and on our leased lands. That could help maybe. But that's the kind of ideas I have about the nuclear Iran. Thank you.
Good grief. Another National Training Center. This is an oh, sorry. I thought you'd answered that.
No, I haven't.
I beg your pardon.
No problem. Yes, a nuclear armed Iran is a problem. Now, is it as great a problem as is being stated? I have questions about that. I would look to General John Abbassid, who said very frankly and very bluntly that the United States can abide a nuclear-armed Iran. Now, what he meant by that, and what I take from that, is not that we want to see Iran develop nuclear weapons. Certainly we don't. That will destabilize the whole region. It is a threat to the political status of Israel, but I don't believe that Iran is a suicide nation like so many people tend to paint it out to be. World leaders, no matter how despotic they tend to be, particularly the despots and the tyrants, tend to be guided by a principle of self-preservation. And anybody in the government of Iran is smart enough to know that if they use nuclear weapons against Israel, that's the end of Iran as well. And I don't think they want to see that happen. Now, what we need to do in the interim is, I agree that sanctions are the right course of action right now, but I think we also need to negotiate with Iran. We need to understand that with the Iranian people, there is a strong impulse to maintain this nuclear program, not because they want nuclear weapons, but because they want nuclear energy, because they're facing the same energy problems that we're facing. And as a signature of the Non-Proliferation Agreement, they have a right to nuclear energy. And I think what we have to do is we have to look at a solution that is going to allow them to have nuclear energy with a very closely monitored program of enrichment to make sure that that isn't diverted into to nuclear weapons. But I think this is a good example of a situation where a threat is being exaggerated to keep us all fearful and to keep this country on a war footing that it doesn't need to be on. Thank you.